All right. Hey, folks. Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Happy Monday. Hey, and good morning, everybody. Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. We come to you each and every day, Monday through Friday. Talk about the people, the places, the trends, events, shape the city of Las Vegas. Happy Monday to you, folks. It's the Monday after Mother's Day, and I hope you had a great time. And hope you got to spend a little bit of time with Mama, and just make her feel good and stuff like that. I know my kids were over, which was great. I'm gonna adjust this just a little bit. I know my kids came over, and this was actually a momentous day for the lovely Mrs. Ray and I. I'll tell you about that in just a second. But I want to welcome all of our friends that are joining us on Facebook. You're joining us on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you're on our YouTube page. Encourage you to like our page, subscribe to our page. There's a little button right down here, and just click on that, and you can love us and just make us feel like we're part of your family and stuff like that. I'm going to. For some reason, my pages were not up on my screen here, so I'm going to click over to our pages that are a part of our daily broadcast on Facebook. So I want to make sure you can actually see that, because if I don't, then I can't answer any questions, because we have people that ask questions all the time. And so I'm clicking over there, and we still have our Mother's Day sign up there, which is really fun. And even if you like us on Livin Weekly, so we have a Livin Weekly page. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. I'm probably going to talk a lot more about Livin Weekly also. So you're on any one of those pages, I can officially see you on any of those pages. So let me tell you a little bit of why this was a momentous weekend for the wifey and I. We call her the lovely Mrs. Ray for obvious reasons, because my last name is Ray, and she is lovely. She's the lovely Mrs. Ray. So this weekend was officially the first weekend that we were empty nesters. I know. This is big. This is not a small thing. This is big for us, that we're officially empty nesters, and which means we have no kids at the house right now. I know it's kind of scary. It's different, and it is what it is. So after we've been married many years, we thought that this day was going to happen quite a few years ago. It didn't, and it is what it is. It's not a big deal. But we're very excited that our kids are all out on their own. I mean, they've all been out on their own for many years, anyways. But they're boomerang. They kind of go, they come back, they go, they come back, and so our last child, who's been with us for a little while, kind of another launch, is gone now. She's out on her own, and we're very excited for her that she's starting another phase of her life, which is great. And we, for the first time, an extended period of time, are, on our own, which is just fabulous. I don't say it out loud, folks. Are you supposed to feel that way? You can feel that way, right? I mean, I love my kids. There's no doubt about it. How many of you are empty nesters? I mean, I got to ask that question. I'm going to ask that question right now. How many of you are actually empty nesters? You don't have any kids at home, and it's just because it's a different feeling. And so I'm very excited about that. So you can say that in the comments down here. How is it? Is there anything you do differently? That kind of stuff. And if you live in Vegas, how much different is it? What other things you do? Because we're already inviting friends over. We're taking out the good dishes. That I know we're doing. Okay, we're taking out the dishes that we should have as adults. So let's talk. So for some of you, this might be the first time you're joining us on a page, on our and seeing us as a podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, and this is our current version of Livin in Vegas magazine. Very excited about it, folks, and encourage you to go to our website and check it out. Oh, I don't have any coffee. I have no coffee here with me. I was going to drink a cup of coffee. So this is Living in Vegas magazine. Um, our April edition of it, July will be coming out. We're already working on July issue of Livin in Vegas magazine. You can go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com, and you can check out our magazine. That you can actually download it, so you can download the whole thing and have that in front of you, and you can actually put it on your iPhone or your Android phone. Oh, let's go that way. Your Android phone, and you can actually check it out. It's very cool. I mean, it really is. I'm very excited about it. And we also have another magazine, and it's called Livin Weekly Magazine. And Livin Weekly Magazine is, as the name would, you know, lead you to believe, it's actually a weekly magazine. So it comes out every week. The current edition of Livin Weekly Magazine, you know what? I got to get that picture up. I'm going to really try to see if I can get. I'm going to try to get my Livin Weekly magazine picture up. Well, let's do this. I'm going to cancel that. And I'm going to see if I can actually replace this picture with the current edition of Livin, the current edition of Livin Weekly Magazine, because I think you really need to see what the cover looks like. It's very cool. I'm looking for it right now because I do have it. There it is. And let's see if I can replace it without it going crazy. Oh, no, it did. So I'm going to make this, I'm going to really try to do this as quickly as I can, folks. I know it's very disconcerting to see me resize a picture right there. So there it is. So that's the current cover of Livin Weekly Magazine. I know some of you are going, man, Joe, that was kind of crazy. But that's what it looks like. So that's Livin Weekly Magazine. That's the current edition. It is out right now. You can see what the stories are on it. The National Day of Prayer was going on. And there's a story about PepCon. After 34 years, folks, we're remembering what happened in PepCon. And some of you that were here during those days probably remember what was going on. If not, check it out. You can go to our website at livinweekly.com. livinweekly.com. And you can actually check that out. Or just send me an email. Send me an email at info@livininvegas.com, and we'll send this to you. And you can check it all out. Okay? Lastly, folks, we've got a real cool, promotion going on. And it's called Club 44. So Club 44 is really about helping you as a business owner become a part of the history of living in Vegas. So Club 44, we're looking for 44 business owners who want to become advertisers at Livin Weekly Magazine. I mean, it's really pretty. And you are the foundation of Livin Weekly or Livin in Vegas Magazine. We're wanting to become a print edition. And the only way we're going to become print edition is for advertisers to jump on board with this. So you can be a part of Livin in Vegas Magazine by joining the Club 44. And really, it's really easy. Send me an email at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com. And you can become a part of Club 44, become an advertiser, which is great. We'll get you a hold of Nap Sugar, and she'll talk to you and do all that cool stuff that you need to do to be a part of it. Okay? Got a special message for you here, folks. Stand by. We'll be back with you in a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Well, welcome back, folks. I actually was answering a question online. I can answer questions online. Somebody was on Butterbean is on our Livin Weekly page, and the question was asking was, have you been an empty nester? And Butterbean replied on it. He goes, yeah, we were for a short time, and then moved his dad in with us. Yeah, it's too funny. We were empty nesters, Linda and I, for about a week. I think it was about a week. And then one of our kids found out about it. And that was it. That was it. She moved in, and that was, 14 years ago or whatever it was. And it took like 14 years for us to kind of cycle through the kids. It is what it is. So there should be a book written about it. There really should be a book written about what you do and how you do it, how you actually are able to make it through um, the whole empty nester thing. So let's talk about what happened this weekend, folks. Interesting stuff that happened. We're going to be on for just a short while. How long are we going to be on today? We'll be on for another 5-6 minutes, and then and then if you'd like to watch the rest of the show, folks, you'll have to go to our website at livininvegas.com. You can actually watch the entire thing, and we'll produce the entire. You'll be able to see it there. But there was really an important thing that happened this weekend. We'll try to get to that story. One, out at Lake Mead, many of you know about the story about what's going on in Lake Mead. Lake Mead water levels are going down, and as they go down, things that were under the surface are now becoming visible. Last week, early in the week, they found a barrel, like a 50-gallon drum, and inside of it were the remains of somebody who died back in like the 70s or the 80s, they think. Same week, they found another barrel. Another barrel was found out there, but this time there was nothing in the barrel. Okay? Well, before the weekend was even over, a couple of paddle boarders were out there I think they were over at Colville Bay or Hemingway Harbor area, and they found another barrel. Okay, they found another body that was washed up over and this happened Saturday, about 2 p.m. National Park Service rangers received a report from witnesses who said a skeletal remains of a body were found out at Colville Bay. And so a couple of ladies were out there, and one was a nurse, and so she's used to seeing, bodies, but she said seeing it in this kind of context, totally different. And so you're probably going to find more and more things like that out there. The Park Service is now asking for help in diving out at Lake Mead. I know. So you can't, as a person, you cannot just go out there and go diving. You can't go out there trying to bring up wrecks and bringing up this. And so you can't do salvage operations at Lake Mead. They'll chase you off. But they are asking for people. We'll leave a link to it. We'll look for the link for it, and we'll put it on our website at livininvegas.com to see, because they're looking for volunteers. They're looking for divers who will go out there and start looking for anything that might be, somebody who has died. A couple of things happen is that you're actually, if you're able to find things out that are out there, because the water level is so much lower now because of the drought, that it's easier for people to go diving out there. Instead of it being 500 feet or whatever it is, to dive out there, it's much lower now, and so it's a little safer for divers to go down there. But it will help people get closure, because there have been a lot of people missing over the years. I mean, it is, unfortunately, when you have a big body of water like that, and it's happened probably nationwide, so it's not just local, it's not just, in Las Vegas that people die and are buried at water depths, but it happens all over the nation. But we have a drought situation, and they're asking for divers to go out there, and we'll leave a link to it that will, so they can, you can help. I mean, if you want to be able to help, you can help. Over the weekend, also, some exciting thing happened. We talked about it early during the week, that the Las Vegas Aces played their first game, and then they played their first home opener the following day. So our first game we played against the Mercury, and we don't like the Mercury anyways. And so the Mercury, we not just beat them, we spanked them. Okay, Phoenix Mercury, we spanked that booty. Okay, which is great. Asia Wilson went out under. She describes it this way. It was so cute. She describes that when last time she was coming out, there was confetti, and confetti was dropping over her head. And, you feel the accolades and the joy and the love. This time, no such thing. because they lost. They had lost to the Phoenix Mercury last year. They put them out of the playoffs last year. This year, they came out to the same sort of thing, confetti, jumping around, and the boos were coming out. Boo, we hate you guys, boo, 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 boo. And Asia Wilson, who is our starting forward, she's like the best. She's just the greatest. Love me some Asia. Said that was something she needed. She loved it. She loves the feeling of it, of the energy, and not only did we beat the Phoenix Mercury, we beat them bad. I think it was like 105 to 86 or something like that. It was just a spanking. Our next game that we played, who did we play? Played against the Storm, and we beat them also. So we beat the Seattle Storm in our home opener, which was on the 8th, and that was just yesterday. So we beat them 85-74. We're rolling. We really are. The first game that we won, Becky Hammond, who's our brand new coach, she used to coach for the NBA. It was a great way to welcome her to the Las Vegas Aces, which was great. And then our first home opener, all of our starters were in double figures, just rolling. We really are. So very excited about that. When is our next game? I don't even know when our next game is. I'll have to check, folks, because actually when we beat the Phoenix Mercury, it was 106 to 88. Sorry, I was a little off on that corner on that score, but we'll. So our next game, I'll have to find out when that is. We'll post that for you on our website. Oh, I can tell you today. So tomorrow we play against the Washington Mystics. Okay, so we're going to be able to play them, which will be great. And we'll leave all the information about them and all the other cool stuff that's going on for the Aces and all the other teams that have been playing, because we had a lot of sports that went on this weekend. And if you'd like to watch the rest of the show, folks, and find out what else was going on in Vegas, just go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's at www.livininvegas.com. And you can actually watch the rest of this broadcast, okay? So, if not, folks, we'll see you tomorrow for the Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray. Thank you so much, folks, for being a part of the show. We will see you again tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. It's on the Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right. Well, welcome, folks. Welcome back to the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to thank you so much for sticking around with us, folks. It's this has been an exciting broadcast already. Got so much more to talk about. Let's pay a few bills first, and then we'll be back in just a second. Okay, hang on a second. Hey, and welcome back, folks, to the Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, also Livin Weekly magazine, and the current version of both of those are out right now. I'm very excited about and we kind of scared everybody in their first half of the broadcast because I wanted to update the picture for the Livin Weekly magazine. So Livin Vegas magazine is out. You can go check out it at Livin in Vegas magazine. Okay, just go to our website, Livin in Vegas magazine. You can actually check that out. Also, the current version of Livin Weekly magazine is out also, and you can actually check that out. Just go to livinweekly.com, livinweekly.com, and you can actually check out both of those. They're both out, and very cool. I mean, really are very cool, and we're so excited about both of them. And you can actually, so either one of them, Livin Vegas magazine or Livin Weekly magazine, you can actually check out both of them, and would love for you to to be a part of them. So we can get rid of those now, guys. Okay, there we go. So we can get rid of both those. So this weekend, big weekend. I don't know if you heard about this, but Formula One racing is coming to Las Vegas. The Miami. So if any of you watch F1 or Formula One racing, Grand Prix racing, it is the top of the motorsports industry. Now we have NASCAR, which plays out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we have that a couple times a year. Pennzoil 400. We have a couple of other races that come out there, which is very cool. Also, Formula One racing though is a whole different breed. It's a whole different thing. The NASCAR is a regular looking car, but it's really modified and it's just kind of really fast. F1 cars are like go-karts on steroids, and they go extremely fast, technologically advanced. They're very cool, and they have done it. They've raced here twice, I believe, once, and I've actually seen both. One was over at Caesar's Palace in their parking lot, a really tight little course, and then the other time was downtown, and it was over off of like Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard, Las Vegas Boulevard. I actually got to see that from a vantage point. I was working as a construction worker at the time, and I got to watch the race at the time. So cool. Well, Formula One has said we want to come back to Vegas because Vegas is the number one spot in the world for sports. A lot of sports happen this weekend. We're going to get to it as quickly as we can. But F1 bought a plot of land, 39 acres, basically, southern end. Actually, it's closer to mid strip area, but it's just off the strip. So it's on the eastern side of the strip area. But they bought 39 acres there. I think they bought it for $250 million or whatever it was. But they bought 39 acres and they're already planning it. They showed the route. I'm going to see if I can find this F1 route because they actually did put it online. And it's going to be very, very cool, folks. And they send me stuff all the time about what the route is going to be and all the cool things. Oh, there it is. What we'll do, it's there. What we'll do is we'll post this on our website at livinvegas.com. You can check it out. It's very cool. And I'm looking really forward to that. Also this weekend, folks, because we're going to run out of time and I want to get through a couple more stories. The Canelo fight was this weekend, okay? So for those of you who don't know who Canelo is, Canelo is a fighter, okay? And he fought against, his name is Saul Canelo Alvarez, okay? He came to a fight this week, or last weekend, or it was actually this weekend, Ali. So Muhammad Ali's grandson was fighting this weekend, and he's a Las Vegas guy. So this is why I love the guy. He's a Las Vegas guy. Everything we do does Vegas, folks. So you got to imagine we're always coming back to Vegas. So his name is Ali, and it's his second pro fight. He's coming out. It's going to be his fight, and he's in front of the hometown crowd. Everybody's excited about seeing Ali fight. Okay, he's wearing his grandpa's shorts. It's just that surreal. It's very nostalgic. So they show Canelo Alvarez. He's coming to see the fight, right? And he's a champ. He's like, I think he's lightweight champ or something like that, or featherweight champ. Whatever. But and the only reason why I say it that way is because I think I really didn't like what happened here. Ali is fighting. Okay. It's their time to shine, the fighter's time to shine. Canelo Alvarez, they have a camera on him. He's not even at the fight yet, and they're saying, "Hey, Canelo Alvarez is showing up, and he's going to show up the game." He comes swaggering in, and the cameras go from the fight to Canelo Alvarez. Okay, because his fight's coming up this weekend. We'll get to it. He walks out. He's got this shirt on. He's got stars on it. Who wears that stuff? Really? Who wears stars on your shirt. Are you kidding me? Put a suit on, guy. He's got a good-looking woman on his shoulder. His wife, girlfriend, who knows? He sits down. The cameras are on him. It's as though they forgot that Ali was fighting. Ali fought, knocked the guy out in the first round. Fantastic fight. Yay. Okay, so now let's fast forward. Canelo Alvarez is fighting against undefeated Bivol. Okay, Bivol. His name is Dimitri Bivol. And unanimous decision. If you saw the picture of these guys, and I wish I would have put it up here, but the difference in 6 inches taller, the guy's an Adonis. I mean, really is. He's a bad boy, and he beats Canelo Alvarez. Sorry. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you go up in weight. You fight a guy who's actually undefeated. The guy's 20-0. And you go to fight this guy. It just didn't happen. So that's what happened this weekend here in Vegas. So it happens. Also, what else? What story do we want to go to? Do we want to go to that story? Okay, let's go on out. It's kind of a heavier note, but Spanish Trails. Many of you know Spanish Trails. Are we going to end this on this story? No, we're not going to. We won't end it. We'll post this story. If you would like, because I talk so much, folks, we don't get to a lot of the stories. I try, but sometimes it doesn't happen. If you would like to get us to email you all of the stories that I didn't get to today, folks, really, this is probably the easiest way to do this. Send me an email. Send me an email to info@livininvegas.com. We'll get you on our mailing list, and you will actually get all of these stories. Okay, but I just talk so much, folks. I just can't do it. So let's. I'm going to end on a good note. What story do we want to do? Okay, May 20th. Okay, this is a really good story. May 20th, Governor Steve Sisolak is going to lift the COVID-19 emergency mandates on the state. That's a good story, right? I want to end on a good note, okay? So, May 12th of 2020, the entire state went into lockdown. All the casinos had to close down. Businesses had to close down. The whole thing, the whole shebang. Businesses went out. Many of those businesses went out of business. And now we're over 2 years later, the governor is saying, hey, we are lifting all of the mandates. Last week, they removed some of the mask mandates, public transportation, that kind of stuff. And now he has announced May 20th, okay, in just a couple more weeks, all of the other mandates are going to be lifted off of the state. So that's a great thing. I mean, it really is. That we're going to be able to have some kind of normalcy here in the state of Nevada. Now, we still have a lot of issues, and we've got a lot of things that we've got to do, and we've got to try to solve. And because still got a lot of residual stuff. Plus, we've got a lot of things that we want to do as a state anyways, and we've got to get those done. Okay, but at least that's a good thing, isn't it? I think so. Anyways, folks, we really appreciate you being a part of the show today. We invite you back tomorrow where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. It's the Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. Thank you, folks, for being a part of the show. We will see you again tomorrow, folks, for Livin in Vegas podcast. And it's been great. It really has. Thank you, folks, for being a part of the show. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.